congrats. And so everyone knows you're humble, but you're a one-woman army. And while your title is driver recruiter, you're also getting together all the paperwork to make sure the DQ file is in order at the time that you make the agreement with the contractor, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So what I do from beginning to end is I'm searching through the applicants, finding the ones that are most qualified. I do the interviewing for them, and then put them through all the DOT process. So, the application, the drug test, doing the backgrounds, and then onboarding them into our system. And our drivers are independent contractors, so they're not actually employed with us. So we do W-9s on them, and so they're not actually employees. They're just contractors, but they still are held to the same standards that a driver would be if they were employed with us.
So as a one-woman army, how many drivers did you bring on year to date?
Year to date, we have brought about 50 drivers on. And since I have been here in this position, let's see, I've been here 10 months now. No, I'm sorry, 9 months now. We have doubled our driver size since I've been here.
Amazing. So if you wouldn't mind, just
and we're looking for the rest of the year. We will again double our driver fleet by the end of the year.
That's amazing. How is Ace Week going to help you accomplish that?
Well, it makes me a lot more efficient. By having the screens in front of me and being able to have my requirements, ATC is a little different than the previous position I had. I only worked with Class A drivers. Now in this driver-away position, I have drivers that are Class A and B. I have CMV drivers, and then I have non-CMV drivers because we move vehicles from less than 10,000 pounds all the way up to 80,000 pounds. So we just have a variety of drivers and what they can do. So A Suite allows me to customize my requirements for my Class A and B drivers, my CMV drivers, and then my non-CMV drivers. So it just makes it a efficient way to organize.
Cool, glad to hear it. What would you say, if you wouldn't mind, do a little compare and contrast? So how was life like before A Suite and working with Avatar Fleet, and how is it better now?
Well, whenever I came into this position, they had recently gone to an electronic application process. I believe up until late 2018, the company used paper for everything. So then they did move over to an electronic application and a semi-electronic process. However, with my experience from Avatar in the past, I knew what was out there and what kind of potential we could have to be more efficient. And fortunately, we were able to, take a look at Avatar and A Suite again, and started the process of moving to A Suite in early 2020. So I have been very impressed and very pleased with what I knew of A Suite to be several years ago, to see all the improvements that have even been made up until now. So I just can't be any happier with where we are right now. We have gotten almost all of our drivers moved over from all the paper files. We're almost completely electronic on everything. And that's been within just the last 2 months of some long nights and weekends getting the paper moved over. So I'm looking forward to getting to the end of the process to where everything is electronic, and we're going to be really, really able to move forward of hiring drivers much more quickly.
Yeah, let's talk about the quickness. So that's something that you meant from an efficiency standpoint. That's really where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And so what are you seeing initially now of how much quicker it is to take someone from, say, a lead into someone who, you've onboarded and is working at ATC?
Well, it's helped me because we have the integration. Um, so that makes a whole lot of difference that I'm not having to manually type all the information in. Also, just with the files that I can upload into Avatar, again, whenever I run an MVR or PSP, when we get drug test results, it's just so much more efficient to take that electronic file, dump it right into Avatar. I'm not having to deal with paper. And, also just having the A Suite set up to where I have a list of everything. It's easy to see what I have. It's easy to see what I'm still waiting on. You can always view where you are in the process. And it really has made a big difference to my boss and actually as well as our owner, to where they can get on and look at the dashboard to kind of see what's going on. So they can even look as simple as seeing how many applicants we have out there. You see the red part of the things that are undone. It changes to green once it's completed. So that's just a quick visual where they can look and have confidence that we are continuing to hire drivers and move through the process.
It's always good to keep the big dogs happy, right? And avoid that
Yes.
that question, how many do we have in the
Yes.
pipe, right? They know.
Yeah. It's very, all they've got to do is log on, look at the dashboard, and, it's right there. And so all I have to do is teach them, a few clicks of what they need to look at. And then that way they're not coming to me asking those questions.
Lovely, isn't it?
It's fantastic.
It's a little bit of an estimate because you're still in the process of moving some of the paper files into A Suite as we speak. But for those that are in there, do you worry about compliance anymore?
Absolutely not. No, because it's right there. You can see what you don't have, and it's so easy, and it's just so obvious. And again, it doesn't give you the opportunity to miss anything.
Cool. How many, just from paper pushing, how many hours are you saving, or maybe a better use is repurposing, right? Because you're still coming to work every day. You're just doing higher quality stuff. So how many hours of paper pushing would you say you're saving?
Well, that's a good question. I know whenever I had first started here, one of the tasks that I had been given was to determine how long did it take for me to hire a driver from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. And from what we had figured of the data input and all the things I was having to do, they were calculating it at 4 hours that I was spending on every driver. So now I don't have that paper pushing and I don't have data input. So I'm actually able to use my time to talk to drivers more, to get more in depth within interviews with them, to get more detail. It makes me more efficient as far as once our backgrounds are run. I've not really measured it out from beginning to end of how many hours I'm spending. But, just off the top of my head, I would easily say I've cut my time in half.
Cool.
And so once we get through the process and get all of our drivers set up in A Suite, get all this paper eliminated, I'm going to be rolling along to be able to hire more drivers. And, that's where I'm being pushed because our business is continuing to grow. We are a small business and we're continuing to get more business. Actually, we were in a meeting this morning learning that we're getting ready to get 700 more moves. So all eyes were on me of how many drivers are you going to get? So it's nice to have a system that I know is going to help me get that done and help me get it done efficiently. And it's the system doesn't allow for mistakes. You're not going to miss putting in a drug screen. You're not going to miss putting in a driver's license. The other thing that I didn't mention that I love is just the texting and emailing feature right out of the system. I love that I can shoot a driver a text and say, send me a copy of your driver's license and your medical card, and all they do is reply to that text message. And the information's right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really the efficiency of it.
Cool. Well, once you get all this paper in the system, the next time they say 700 more moves, you're going to say, is that all you got? Right? You're going to be asking for 1,000 moves because you're going to be bored.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Our dispatcher, hey, I'm going to put it back on dispatch, not me. It's not going to be for lack of drivers that we're not doing our move.
That's right. That's right. So last question to wrap it up. What do you love the most about working with Avatar Fleet?
Well, first of all, I love that we do have a long-term relationship. I know Avatar Fleet is a small company. We are a small company, but I appreciate the fact that whenever I need help, that somebody's there to help me. Whenever I have a question, somebody's there to answer my question. It's nice having a quick response time. And whenever I have an issue, it's going to get taken care of, whether it's a new feature that I need it to do or whether it's just something that's not working for me in the right way. I have found that, Avatar, my account rep, everyone has been responsive to my needs, and that I'm able to personalize the system very much for what I want. So, company A or company B is set up different than the way mine's set up. I like that I have the ability to go in and fix things the way I want them. I like that I can see my reporting the way I want to see it, and someone else here can set it up for a different need. It's just been so customizable. I could go on and on. I know, Scott, from you knowing me from years past, I'm very particular about what I like and how I want it. And and I'm just happy that, that it's set up and it's able to be set up in a way that works best for my company, and helps me be most efficient.
Well, you're good at your job, but we don't take it lightly when if Misty Monday gives it a thumbs up, because you would let us know if it wasn't doing what you needed, and so
yeah, that, and yeah, and so yes, if you've got me happy and smiling and thumbs up, then yeah, that's a good compliment.
Well,
because I'm not easily impressed. And again, from where we started to where we are now, Avatar's done an amazing job to get there. And, I'm just pleased with your end product. And also to know that you're continuing to add things and you're continuing to tweak. And, that's what we want. Ask for the feedback from the customer. You guys are always asking, what can you do to help me? And I love that.
We have, and you have been along on this journey for a long way when A-Suite was, just a little ember, and, the fire's been growing, and I appreciate you noticed that, because there is a lot of Misty Monday fingerprints all over A-Suite, as well as input from other clients. So it is something that we take seriously in gathering. So thank you for noticing. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm so happy to be here, and I appreciate what you've done, and I look forward to where we're going as the year goes on and the years go on.
Yes, ma'am. Can't wait. Thank you so much.
Thank you.